What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Shadow Phoenix and you are in Crystal Gardens today. So what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be building a coaster. That's right, I have been teasing this for about over a week or so now. First started on Twitter when I first started getting the gleam of an idea, and then it went to YouTube, and then I made an entire YouTube video, episode 37 of Crystal Gardens, kind of fanning the flames a little bit of this rumor. And also I posted a poll on YouTube. I asked what your favorite kind of coaster is between different ones. Now, some of you may have caught on that what I was actually asking was what kind of coaster would you actually like to see me do next? Would you want to see a Giga coaster, a accelerator coaster, something more like Maverick, something maybe a dive coaster? You know, I had different ideas there that I was doing. All thoughts of what could maybe go in this area. And in case you didn't get that, well, I mean, that's basically what I was doing. So the idea there was to kind of find out what type of coaster most of you kind of liked and would like to see. The Giga coaster almost won, which I would have been very, very sad because I wasn't a huge fan of the Giga coaster. So luckily, Maverick pulled out in front, and I was very, very happy to see that. But sadly, Accelerator didn't get hardly any votes. It got a few, but not really enough to make a dent. And, you know, honestly, I actually went and I took a recreation of Accelerator that somebody had done, and I placed it in this spot, and it looked amazing on the skyline. So what I gathered from what you guys voted on is that you like really, really tall coasters and really, really fast coasters. So I kind of thought, well, how about we take Maverick and combine it with Accelerator, right? Another coaster that I was looking at, and unfortunately it wasn't able, we can't make it in Planet Coaster, and I would have loved to have been able to do this too, would be Pantheon, which is coming to Busch Gardens this year, if his Busch Gardens opens this year. And I was looking at that one too, so I wanted to incorporate maybe a couple of elements from that into this coaster as well. I really wish I could have done the Needle, because the Needle would have been awesome, but unfortunately we can't do transfer track like that, so not able to do it. Hint, hint, Frontier, if you are going to do another pack, maybe take a look at those, since that's not the only one that's actually going to be built. Anywho, I decided it would be really, really neat if we took Maverick and combined it with Accelerator and used a few elements from Pantheon and kind of incorporate all of that together to make this new coaster, which doesn't have a name yet. So maybe by the end of this, maybe you guys will have maybe you guys can help me out with a name for this coaster. I'm looking for something kind of cool that will go along with its theming, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I've kind of been talking and ranting here a little bit, but I haven't actually been talking about what I'm doing on the screen as you guys have been watching. I chose to start with the Infinite Coaster. The reason I did that is because it has that Intamin kind of track that I really wanted, which was what you see there. And it also lets me use a ton of different coaster cars, including the F25, which is, I know it's a B&M coaster car, but it actually fits on this track, which works really, really well for me because of the theme that I'm trying to do. Now, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm kind of going for Accelerator. I like that whole classic cruising cars kind of theme, like, you know, the classic Cadillacs and stuff like that, and you know, like when Happy Days kind of thing. So that's the theme I'm going for, and I'm going to steal a lot of stuff from Accelerator for this coaster. I'll probably even maybe copy its station. So what I've done so far is I have, as you can see, I've built most of Maverick, minus the fact that I didn't do the lift hill. So Maverick has a launch lift hill. It doesn't just like go to the launch thing like Accelerator does and then shoot it out of the station. It actually has a launch lift hill. I didn't want to do that I wanted it to kind of like, I wanted that hold and then launch, and there's a reason for that, which we're going to come to here in just a moment. As you can see, if you think about Maverick, Maverick has it where it goes into its second launch, and it launches technically like underneath of the regular launch station. So I thought, since we're going with a classic car kind of theme, why don't have them drag race? Now I knew right off the bat when I had this idea, I thought, oh man, that's going to be a pain to try to time that right. I was not wrong. I literally spent hours trying to get it to work out. Luckily, I had some help from one of my fans on Twitch who helped me try to figure out a bunch of stuff on this. It didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to work, but I was able to get it to work, which we'll see here as soon as the time-lapse finishes. We'll take a look at that. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Designer Boys. He was the one who helped me actually figure out what to do on this. It was trial and error, a lot of it was, but a lot of patience and a lot of work, and we were able to get it. So it mostly just, it was just a pain in the butt, honestly. It just really was. All right, but enough about that. So that was one of the things I definitely wanted to do with this when I had the idea for the coaster, and that's another reason why it's basically a 50 kind of car idea and that's the theming that we're going to go with. And you know, everything is kind of really revolving around this car idea, but I really thought like them drag racing down this strip was going to be a good idea, and that's also why I didn't use the Maverick like lift hill as well, because I wouldn't have had the spot where they would actually be able to race each other before going, you know, one goes up the little airtime hill while the other one does the whole accelerator top hat thing. Oh, and this top hat, oh my god, was this ever a pain in the ass. I cut a lot of this out of the video here, so you're not going to see a lot of it, but this was a pain too. It really was. So apparently with this particular coaster, when you're trying to do your own custom top hat, when you get to a 90-degree angle, the controls kind of start getting wonky. When, like what I'm trying to do right there, instead of typically you would use the banking thing to like twist it. Nope. On this coaster, when you get to a 90-degree angle, literally moving the thing left or right, like trying to make a curve, causes it to twist, which I didn't quite understand. So once I figured out what it was doing, which was also a lot of trial and error, I was finally able to get the top hat here. And the top hat, I had to redo the top hat, like this, all of this part right here, a couple of different times because I couldn't quite get the height that I wanted, and a few other things on it to kind of work right. It wasn't working. It was being wonky. I also couldn't get the speed up. And oh, speaking of speed, so the second launch, 88 miles per hour. Just want to bring that out. So I just thought it would be really funny if our second launch was 88 miles an hour. And at 88 miles an hour, it does actually get to the top of the top hat and go over it. I could probably use a little less than 88, but I really wanted it to hit 88 miles per hour. So I was able to accomplish that. That's just a throwback to one of my favorite movies of all time. So the top hat, yeah, okay. So this thing just about broke me. Almost getting the launches to line up is probably what broke me the most on this coaster. But this thing I was about like, wait, why can't I do this? I literally thought I had done all this work on this coaster only to find out that I couldn't do a top hat element, and I was going to be so mad because I couldn't use it, and it was the whole point of me doing this entire coaster to begin with. But luckily I just had to figure out the wonky controls. Like I said, in order to go, like, to make it twist, you have to use like the curving functions, not the banking functions. And then I was able to get it to, you know, by using up or down, I was able to get it to do the curve over the top. And then I had to reverse that to get it to go down, twist, and then it is. So at this point, It's just basically a copy of Accelerator is what I'm doing now. So it comes down the top hat, which, speaking of the top hat, by the way, I never said how high this was. So I did say in the teaser video that I made for this last week that it was going to be the tallest, fastest coaster in the park. So I made sure that it actually was the tallest coaster in the entire park. At 248 feet, that's pretty high. So for those of you who are hoping for a giga, it's not quite a giga, but it is almost a giga. So yeah, it's taller than Accelerator, so you got that going for you. That almost ended up being a problem though, with it being so high. Because once I finished this, we were running into issues with it. It was telling me my G-force was too high and my excitement was too high and nobody was going to ride it. I was literally getting the warnings, which it took me a while to figure out what it was, but a lot of the highest numbers were on the top hat. So I had to get that to kind of work out. Also, the main launch element at the first too, the airtime hill at the first had some high numbers as well. So after smoothing that out, going through, doing some banking on some things that I missed, I was able to get it surprisingly all green. Like, and I don't try for all green, because honestly, with these coasters in Planet Coaster, it doesn't have to be all green. Everybody's all worried about, yeah, but is it all green? It doesn't have to be. A lot of actual people who do like real life recreations, some of the most exact recreations don't get all green stats, and that has to do with just the way that Planet Coaster has calculated things. In game terms, those stats don't matter. What matters is, does the coaster look identical to what you want? That's all that matters. If you can get high numbers, like close to green, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be all green. And I've said this multiple times, and I literally can't drill this into you guys' heads far enough. But don't worry about if your stats are like, oh, I got 2 greens, but one of them's, so keep working with it until you get all green. It doesn't have to be all green, guys. It doesn't. Don't worry about it. Just have fun with the game. Enjoy it for what it is. This is not No Limits 2. This is Planet Coaster, and those stats don't mean diddly in the grand scheme of things compared to your vision. So if your vision is to get all green stats, then I guess that's your vision. But if you have something in your head that you really want to do, or recreation of something, and you're not getting all green stats, don't worry about it. All right, but that's my little rant for now with the all green stats. The end of this is just pretty much I deviate from Accelerator to get the last part of the things, with basically almost a double 0G row. So it goes through a 0G row airtime hill, and then it goes through basically almost a second one. It's kind of a 0G row, almost. And then we go into this, I kind of want to say it's a small horseshoe U-turn into a downward braking system. And there you go. So, I also never mentioned why I have the S-turn in the beginning there either, like why it does that. But I think you guys can pretty much figure out why I did that at this point. And that's because I could get the 2 tracks close enough to each other to actually race down through there. And I may actually kind of work that around a little bit and maybe try to get them closer. That might be something I might work on. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think that is something I should do. Should I have them like closer together like that? Or are they fine the way they are now? I'm kind of fine with how they are now, but I think I could probably get a little closer. But you guys tell me what you think. Anywho, we're almost at the end of the time lapse, so let's go ahead and jump into a live view so I can show you the coaster. Alrighty, guys, here we are in the park. Welcome back to Crystal Gardens. I am about to do the reveal of the coaster, although technically you already saw it, but still, when you actually see it from the distance and you see the skyline that it actually gives, you will definitely appreciate it as much as I do. So as we come around the curve here, looking back, it all starts to come into view. Our new coaster. There we go. I really love the view that this puts into the park right here. I think it fits perfectly where it is. I absolutely positively love it. Obviously, there's a lot more work to do. We got some smoothing to do on the coaster. I also got to choose the colors. Right now, it's pretty much in accelerator colors, which I'm okay with, honestly. I think it stands out with these colors, but let me know in the comments below what you think the colors on it should be. I would love to hear your guys' opinions because I'm a little bit of at a loss, and I don't really want to use accelerators colors. It honestly does really stand out pretty good though, so I may actually do that. Another question I got was, will I actually be custom supporting the top hat element? And that is a yes. I kind of have to, you know? I mean, I can't just leave it like that. That's not right. So in a park like this, where I've done everything else pretty much custom, I definitely have to do custom supports on that. So that will definitely be done. But I think it stands out really, really well. Not just from coming up in that era as well, but also from down here. So it's going to take me a minute to get down here where the paradrop is as well. Ripcord. Which I'm pretty much, I'm sure at this point that I am going to be taking out this ride. I hate to do it. It is an all-time classic, and it looks really, really good here. I do hate to get rid of it. I spent a lot of time trying to get it right too, and trying to find the right look for it and everything. But it is a ride that actually doesn't even work. It looks really good. But I'm trying to keep. I was trying to keep this park full of like classics and stuff. But honestly, if we were to put something else right here, I think it would work out a whole lot better because you would be able to see the top hat a lot more coming down this way. Right now, it's kind of hard to see in there, but it does look really, really good. If Ripcord wasn't here, then I think that would look a whole lot better. I also think it looks really good just from here as well. Just like if you were standing here and kind of looking back through there, I think it stands out. I do. So I'm gonna jump past the Wacky Willy here, and let's kind of look at the coaster a little bit. So again, I will be doing custom supports on it. Definitely for sure custom supports on the top hat. I don't know if I'll do the whole coaster in custom supports, but I probably will, I think. I'm also going to do some stuff here with the, where it uses the accelerator pieces here. I'm most likely going to go ahead and put those as a, probably put some track or something underneath of that to make the track kind of match up, because I'm not a huge fan of it just being straight track like that. So I'll probably work with that as well. The color of the cars, I don't know, I just went with something that was kind of different from what we already had. And again, I do kind of like this, but I don't know. I think we could do better as far as colors wise. The station, I'm probably going to copy Accelerator Station. The next video will probably be building the station for this coaster. That's most likely what we're going to be doing the next one, as well as showing off some more stuff on it once we get some more stuff done. So, but I did want to kind of do just this quick showcase of kind of what it looks like and everything like that. So, now as I was saying, I'm going to actually go out of. I'm going to have to turn this back on so I can actually click start on this. I don't know why it's not running. Alright, so the first two here, if I remember correctly, I don't think these two match up. They might, but I can't remember. It comes in. Do they launch at the same time? Yeah, they do. Okay. So as you can see, they will sort of race. It's not perfect, but they do sort of race. And then car number 3 will load up here. While that one's on the track, and it will come around here. Alright, so that one, there goes into the station. It's going to load up. There we go. And that's odd. That worked before. I don't know why it's not working now. Interesting. Okay. Something happened. I don't know what, but these were working pretty good before. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Anywho, if you guys have any thoughts about how to make this coaster race down through here better, because like I said, I thought I had it working, but apparently I do not, and I don't know what I've done to it to make it not work, but it's not. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. All right, so let's take a look at the track, shall we? So you will come out of the station, load onto the hold platform, wait for the other car to come through, which will then, it is a little bit of a wait as well. So then it will shoot you over the ejector time hill, down in to, I don't know what you'd call this element, but basically a U-turn. And I kind of feel like maybe this might need to be a little wider, but I was kind of trying to mimic. Actually, no, that's not too bad. Looking at it, it's not too bad. So we kind of mimic most of Maverick right there. Now, I remember in the beginning of this video when I said I wanted it to kind of look like, I wanted to take some elements of Pantheon from Busch Gardens. This is one of those elements. This ejector hill right here, which is 90 degrees. I kind of wanted to take that from it. I'm pretty sure that Pantheon has that element. I gotta fix this tree. This tree's in the way. Fat tree. It's right on the edge. It's kind of a pain. Yeah, I'm just gonna, whatever, tree, whatever, just get out of here. All right. This tree is also in my way as well. Move that out of the way. Sorry. Can't help it. I'm trying to fix things and end up making it worse. All right. So you'll come out of that element, down into another turn, through, I believe this is referred to as a horseshoe turn, but this is not really a horseshoe turn. But yeah, in through that, into another one, very much like Maverick, very, very close to it. And then it will hit, we'll go underneath of here, which, do I have enough clearance there? Can't tell just yet. Here we go. Yeah, there's just enough clearance there. I can fix that a little better later on. Like I said, we'll get to work on this, but and then it will hit the second launch at 88 miles an hour. You guys are gonna see some serious lateral G's as we go up the top hat, down the top hat, and then it goes into almost a accelerator type of element here, where it goes into the U-turn, and then it will go back through the top hat, down and around, and this is where things change up a little bit right here. I'm trying to shift this around. I'm sorry, guys. The cameras are horrible in this game. Through a 0G row, through a I was gonna say this was almost a 0G row, but this is more of a I would call this more of a loose corkscrew, and then into the brake run. So there we have it. This is the coaster. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? So there's a few things that I would like to get your all's thoughts on. Colors, a name, and anything else that you have to say about the coaster. It is the longest, fastest, and tallest coaster in the entire park. And I absolutely love it. I think it came out great. This was exactly what I wanted to go for, and I accomplished my goals. Look at that view. Tell me that is not a great skyline. And with this skyline, I'm going to head on out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave your comments below. If you're not already following me and you want to check out more Planet Coaster stuff, I got tons of it on my channel here, as well as lots of other things. You can always check those out as well. And if you do follow, you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell to be notified whenever I do the video or I go online streaming live, just to let you know. Anywho, I'm out. You guys have a great rest of the day. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.